My name is Mike, welcome to the channel. Just a heads up, HB Industries is dropping a lot of things. You've probably already seen the short stroke buffer, which is the main fix for this gun. In my humble opinion, a few people complained about the safety.
I wish that the lever on the safety were perhaps a little bit longer.
Safety, pretty good going off, terrible coming back on.
So number one, the short stroke buffer you will find in a link below. That'll get you to a playlist with all the Kuna videos in it. And today's videos will be focused on safety spring, safety levers, and trigger shoe. And at the end of the video, I'll have a detailed section on how to remove your trigger and safety and put it back together for cleaning and inspection. And for extra credit, I'm going to test the short stroke buffer with some subsonic ammo. Be sure and subscribe because I'll be working on a custom stock from HBI for my next video.
Brace came off.
Running the Springfield Kuna with the short stroke buffer in it. And now we have a lighter spring in here along with a new safety lever.
Some of those small changes they made was just enough so that it stays out of the way, but I can totally send that to fire and then I can still pull back on the other side like I normally do.
It's also got a new trigger shoe on here, and we're going to do that same build drill. My best time was a 1.21. 121, averaged around a 1.25. All right, let's see how we do. That's a new distance for my trigger pull. Recalibrate the trigger distance. Keeping my finger on the trigger, I can actually sweep the safety. That's an upgrade I didn't expect that I needed. Safety is way better, and this new trigger shoe has the distance set further back. So the timing, the hundreds or thousands of rounds that I have on this gun, I need to recalibrate my trigger finger for, but the safety is good. I like the safety. That's nice.
And if I didn't mention this, I am not sponsored by HB Industries. They just keep sending me cool stuff and I put them in my weapons and love them. From the Springfield Kuna, and I have a long history of HB Industry parts in my Scorpion from years back. I was a bit frustrated with the new length of pull, so I thought I'd give myself a couple more mags to try to work into it and get my speed back up.
Let's try that again. 1.21, that's with using the safety.
Previously measuring these drills with the original safety, I would just keep the safety off because it was too hard to reach.
.135. .125. 1.31. Oh, the 115s shoot a lot softer, that's for sure.
Ooh, a lot of take up compared to what it was. 1.74. That was definitely different. That's much different. That's different with the new trigger. There, you can feel it. Since I was privileged to be in the other video, I would have to say, personally, I like that other trigger. It felt better. This one, it's further back. You've got to really prep your finger in advance because where you think it's going to be, it really isn't. That's just my less than 2 mag opinion.
Did you notice a difference with the safety?
It's slanted, so I kind of missed it a little bit. But it's got good texture, just not a lot of surface area for my my fat fingers.
Had a question in the comments. Will the Kuna and the short stroke buffer run subsonic? The first 6 shots are going to be Federal 147. Following 6 shots will be the Federal, I fucking focus off again, 150 grain Federal. 147 grain, I believe. And my timer's not picking those up, and it obviously ran it good. And now the 150 grain. And lock back. So yes, runs perfect with subsonics as well. All right, Andrew Conrad apparently has so much ammo he has to give it away. Hollow point 147 grain. Let's see if it'll run this stuff. That's 4. So ran the hollow points just fine and locked back. And while we're here, 124 grain NATO pressure, first 6, followed by 115 grain steel case ammo, as cheap shit as you can get. So first 6, 124 grain. That's a 1.73 and shit ammo. 7 shots at 1.41. 1.13 for the Mozambique.
Okay, my takeaways. S tier is the short stroke buffer. That is a 100% buy. And also in the S tier is the spring, the lightened spring for the safety in this. It's going to make a world of difference for you. A tier is going to be the safety levers. I wish they were just a little bit longer, but I do like them. And the B tier is going to be the trigger shoe. That's a personal preference. I don't think I'm going to keep it on there. I think I prefer the original for various reasons. And as promised, here's the trigger and safety removal to get you all set up for cleaning, inspection, and replacement parts if you need to. Not nearly as dirty as I thought it would be. And that's running it suppressed with the Osprey 9 by Silencer Co. Just barely out of reach, so I'm assuming that this one puts it just barely in reach without getting in the way of your shooting experience. So we'll see how it goes. There's a way to, so we got safe, we have fire, and there's a way to go over travel past safe this direction by releasing a mechanism inside of here to get this trigger pack out. Let's check it out. There's a detent right here that pushes against the safety mechanism. Normally on an AR-15, you would just remove a screw from this handle, remove the handle, and access the detent that way. Here, it's a top-loaded spring and detent for this particular trigger module. So to get it is you would take your safety, move it to safe. I'm going to push up on that while I press down on the detent and over travel that safety, and that should give me access to remove the, and that will start the process to start removing the safety. So a little downward pressure on the trigger pack, and then work these guys out from either side. That gives me access to the trigger module, and that's what that looks like. And then here you'll see this is the detent that we're going to be replacing here in a moment to help lighten up that safety. That's what that looks like. And here is the HBindustries reduced spring, old compared to new. Let's get that done. Easy enough. So now the lighter spring has been installed. So if that's all we were doing, we could go ahead and reassemble our trigger pack in reversed order. But they also sent a trigger shoe. So we're going to check that out and see what it's all about. Set this guy to the side and look at this stuff side by side here. Looks like I have a pen they sent with it. And here's an AB. Let's see if I can show you guys to the rear just a little bit, and I would imagine it's going to give me a little bit different feel. So I'll tell more about that off the range. I have a lot of time on this trigger, so I should be able to give you some good feedback when I get out to the range with this guy. And if I didn't mention this, I am not sponsored by HB Industries. They just keep sending me cool stuff, and I put them in my weapons and love them. From the Springfield Kuna, and I have a long history of HB Industry parts in my Scorpion from years back. That's the CZ Scorpion. As far as being a gunsmith, I am not that. I am just a regular guy, so ease of installation would be, you know, if you've got a couple of brain cells, you should be able to figure this stuff out. Hopefully this video will help you remove your trigger pack. You'll be able to clean it successfully, and while you're in there, you could tune up your firearm. So I presume we can just push that pin out. Let's see if that's right. We'll figure this out together. 3/32. Feels a little big, but I'm not sure. 5/64. Feels a little better. Give that a tap. Seems to be moving out like any other roll pin, so I'll keep going on with that. See how it goes. Yeah, feels good. Okay. Right, old roll pin is there. That slides right off. That's pretty easy. I'm going to just slide the new one right on so I don't get into any trouble. And I'll be using their roll pin just in case there's any differences. And I'm going to push it back through the same way. All right, so I just sent that roll pin in there. Pretty straightforward. All right, let's see about putting this thing back together again. Okay, we've got the new trigger shoe installed, and this unit right here will come and go quite easily. And that's where the detent goes in here on the bottom of this unit for safety and ready to fire. You see the two holes there. So that thing will fall out. Yeah, it's my first time taking it apart, so still figuring this out. Moving on to the new safeties. There is a left and a right, and the old ones feel like a plastic or really high quality polymer with a nice grit. I really like those, and the new ones feel like they are made out of aluminum. And so I'm excited to see what those look like and feel like on the gun, because I really like the old ones just fine. So if they can make them even better, that would be great. They're going to have videos to all this stuff over at HB Industries website. So for a more a proper instructional on this, you're going to definitely want to go there. Hey guys, these pins right here will literally just fall right out. And so do your best to try to keep those in line. They're not roll pins. They just slide right in these openings here. If you're having trouble getting them back in because of all the pressures of the springs and the mechanism itself, let that hammer go forward, and that will help alleviate some pressure down here to get these pins back in if they come out. So make sure your hammer's back as you slide that tongue in, and it'll set right back in place like that, theoretically speaking. Let's see if I can unfuck myself and slide this back out just a little bit. There we go. That's not so bad. Slide that back down. Cool. Okay. So my detent spring is in, new trigger pads installed. Looks like we're mostly back together again. So I need to rotate that past safe in order to get these guys back in. So this is safe. And then I need to push down on that detent. Push down on detent. Go past safe. Let's see if that works. Okay. Now that is installed past safe, so let's bring it back to safe. No, I don't want to force that. So I'm going to push down on the detent again. There we go. Function check. Okay, that answers my question. If I have my hand, now that I just sweep down, it's totally reachable from before. So just that little bit of work they did, those small geometric changes, that's a fancy word, some of those small changes they made was just enough so that it stays out of the way, but I can totally send that to fire, and then I can still pull back on the other side like I normally do. And it's so much lighter. So any of you guys or gals out there that are using typically one side, you're going to have a much easier time to do that. And I don't believe I'm going to have to break my grip in order to put this on fire. Very nice job, guys. That's probably not easy, finding that perfect spot between enough meat on here where I can grab it, but not too much meat where it's going to be driving into my alternate finger. And having said that, since these come with both a left and a right side, you could just do the one side if you're just interested in that and just leaving the stock one on the other side. Totally cool. And they also have some other delete options on there if you want to get rid of one side altogether. And also they have an AK style one where the switch would kind of be forward and flip. So just know that they have a few different options for safeties over there on their website. So what did I end up using? I just used a few of these smaller punches here. And this little tool right here just to help manipulate the trigger some, and the rest was just jostling with my hands. I did have to move that over to a bench to drive that pin back into the new trigger shoe, but looking good. All right, let's get this thing to the range. This video is sponsored by evokestudio.io. We can pretty much do everything and anything between video and photo. What does that mean? Well, we can do broadcast television, we can do your vertical video content, all your headshots for your office, and coming out of the commercial side, we are premier photographers and videographers for any of your shooting and firearm events, family portraits, and we're actually nationally known for our photos and videos in the wedding industry. So check out that website below, hit that contact form to get a hold of us, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. My name is Mike. Thanks for stopping by the channel. We'll see you soon.